All right, here's some niche looks maxing stuff that I guess, picked up on after looking at this space for like forever. Just feel like a knowledgeable guy. Yeah, let's talk about some stuff. So, the biggest thing that people ask is always like, how do I ascend fast? Like, what's the quickest way to ascend? How do I ascend? How do I ascend? And the truth is, like, I used to always say like eye areas law and all this shit, and that's obviously like true, right? But number one is honestly, if you're trying to ascend, like you're trying to get like that Chad kind of treatment where like you could be like the star of the party or whatever, you become really popular, or you start getting girls, which is what a lot of guys are trying to do once they're trying to get into looks maxing, then it's gonna be about your jaw, right? Even if you don't look like the best, if you just have a lot of bone mass here in your jaw, it like just gives like the primal instinct for women to just like that raw dominance kind of like attraction that they want to be submissive to. It's really that simple. Now, like if you're trying to go for like a more harmonious kind of look, or if you're trying to, depends on what you're trying to do. But I would say that's the main thing for like be like to be like a slayer, right? If you want to just like get chicks at a party, or like just have more one night stands, that's gonna be kind of the secret. Um, but like the most important, I would still say, is the eye area, because the eye area is about a lot more about like beauty, kind of like harmony, kind of like windows to the soul, kind of more like long term relationship kind of thing, kind of more like you hit the girl's like heart, which is obviously really, really important as well. It's a bit more memorable. It's a bit more like this person, I feel like different kind of emotions with this person, which is really, really important in life, right? So I would say they're both of equal importance. I'd say the eyes are a bit more important for someone to be attractive, but for someone to just be like the kind of guy to go out and like get girls, like you're gonna always gonna see like a guy with a really good jawline be the one who's kind of living the life of the party. Um, yeah. There's like other like cheat codes. Like if you're just like super, super, super lean, um, that's gonna like pretty much improve almost like everybody. Like even if you're like below 15% body fat, like you're probably gonna be chilling, even if you have like some facial flaws, or even if your ratios are kind of shit. Everything kind of just comes together once you're below that body fat percentage, because nobody is below that body fat percentage. And yeah, it just looks better on people for the most part. What's some other stuff? Obviously, like height is huge, right? Like even if you have like a bad face, if you're just like super tall, like that's gonna just like compensate easily. So definitely like wear like taller kind of shoes to be perceived as more dominant or whatever. Try to stay clean shaven for the most part. Like anytime you go to an event, like clean shaven is gonna look better. The only way you would want to grow a beard is if your jaw is really, really shit. And even if it's shit, it's probably not shit enough to like always like grow out like this huge ass beard. Because most girls really are not into the whole beard thing. Maybe a little bit of stubble's cool. Maybe like a little bit of a beard, right? But not like a full thing. Very, very rare to find like girls who are, young, between like 20 and 24 or whatever, to be really attracted to that, from what I've noticed. Now, obviously, there's like exceptions, but for the most part, I haven't really seen it. Your personality like unironically matters. Like I used to like just throw this shit out the window, but that's so fucking dumb. Like you obviously need to be an interesting person and like know how to socialize and be like the dominant kind of person to get women. Like I used to just like really just walk around and think like if girls don't throw themselves at me, like I obviously must be like ugly, and that's like really, really, really stupid. Like I have this like guy who looks like really bad in my opinion, but he's been with over like 50 women. And like the average person will say like, oh, that's just one example, but like, I've seen this like consistently. It's really just you needing to know how to navigate women and have them look at you like, oh, why? Like instead of being like, why should I be with this guy? They want to look at you and be like, why shouldn't I want to be with this guy? And you really need to put them in that framework. You need to show the assets that you do have unconsciously, like the skills that you do have, which you can get internally through shit like mind games or whatever. No, it sounds like pretty blue pill, but I've literally witnessed it, and this is coming from someone who used to be like super black pilled. So that shit is obviously really important. Um, Yeah, I would say like you don't need Retta. You just need to eat. You just need to go on like carnivore for like a month to 2 months and do some cardio. Like play basketball every day or play like your favorite sport and try to work out a little bit, but you don't have to go crazy. That I wish I did that earlier. Like it's really just like eat. Let's like cut out the carbs for like a month to 2 months. It's gonna be shit. I don't know. If, like be careful. Like if you have like medical shit or if like you will deal with like you might deal with like ketosis and stuff like that. But that's gonna be the fastest way for you to get lean, to be honest. It's gonna shred fat like crazy. You don't need Retta. If not meat, like just chicken and fish, but I recommend steak because that's gonna have fat as well and eggs. That's pretty much it. Um, like obviously tanning. Contrast is really important, like your coloring. So like if you're super super orange, super super tan, got like these dark ass eyebrows, got this like kind of like eyeliner or like not eyeliner, but like a little bit of like these like black eyelashes, black eyelashes or whatever, like kind of blue eyes or green eyes. Then you have like these white ass teeth, and then you have like no pimples, so like that coloring really really shows. Your bone mass you could just throw right out the fucking window because like that's gonna be a lot more important. That's bone mass is still really important though for sure, but people are gonna like they're gonna want to look at you because you look healthy. Like health indicators are really really important. Um, your social class is really really important. Like you want to protect your social class at all costs. You never want to show that you're like a low social class because the girls are gonna be so turned off by that because they're naturally always gonna be hypergamous and they'll always want to chase someone who has a higher social class than them, or even if they love this person, they could easily be turned off once they start revealing any kind of weakness or whatever, like, I don't know, they're awkward or they don't know how to speak with people or whatever. That's like one of the biggest turnoffs for women. Number one turnoff. And yeah, you never want to show that shit. So you gotta protect that at all costs. Even more important than looks, I would say. Or I don't know. Low key, I still think looks are most important. But yeah. Um, yeah, one of the best examples I've ever seen, and you've seen it probably as well, is the Tom Cruise Ascension, right? That's like textbook like what I always talk about on my channel, right? He was a guy with a really good eye area. He had a narrow kind of jaw. Um, his teeth were pretty shit in the outsiders. He does have some nice hair. It's dark, right? But and like him in The Outsiders, he was still an actor, right? Like he looked good enough to be in The Outsiders. It's what made him an actor. The eyes and the hair is what made him an actor. But there was obviously something off. And I remember when I was a kid watching The Outsiders and like not even realizing that Tom Cruise was even in that movie, right? And like when you look at him, he's not really ugly. Like some people call him he's not ugly, he's just like there's something missing. You don't really know what it is. Like he looks good, but there is something missing and it's about the jaw, right? And the jaw is really what ascended him to become this a-list celebrity. It's like what separated him from actor to A-list to a huge like an A-list actor, right? That's what girls really really started liking him in like a more primal way compared to oh he's cute, right? You need the eyes to even get in the door, but you need the jaw to open it up to women, I would say. Yeah. And then he also obviously tanned a bunch in like Top Gun. He looks a lot more tan. Fixed his teeth, expanded them. His white teeth show like crazy. Great coloring. And yeah, I guess he's like the textbook example of like someone who you should study from. Um, Another one is like if you don't want it, and like how do you get like this like great jaw? Like really, it's really like about filler and or about like implants. But obviously, like don't just get like implants. That might be really really stupid. But like filler is almost like a guaranteed way if you go to a really good place like to get that kind of jaw. And you could get how much you want. You could be really really strategic with it, and the migration is a lot more overstated than most people say. Like it's usually not that bad, but obviously do your research and don't be stupid because you might end up looking uncanny, which is even worse. But I've seen people who look uncanny but have a great jaw, and they slay more than people who have a more harmonious face, but the guys with the better jaw still win when it comes to like club environments or whatever. I've seen it consistently. This kid from my high school is actually kind of crazy. Like he actually is like a full blown Chad, or like Chad Light or whatever. And he actually started off really, really unattractive. I remember my freshman year of high school seeing him. I'm like, wow, this guy is really, really ugly. And he 100% got like implants or whatever, but like people didn't really realize it. He got this all before like the whole looks maxing thing even popped off. So he was probably like a one of the original people on the forums or whatever, and just never showcased. A really, really smart guy. Um, yeah, and he was just really bad look. He was pretty unattractive. He was really, really skinny. He had like a really low body fat, and his eyes were like okay. They had like a good color, and he had curly hair, but that's it. Like all of his traits were bad. And then sophomore year, he followed like 10,000 people on Instagram, and then unfollow. Like he followed 10,000 people on Instagram, got a bunch of girls followers, had no posts on Instagram, and got like a few people on like followed him back. Then he unfollowed those 10,000 people, and he put like a this profile picture of him with curly hair, like a frauded photo, and that's why all the girls started following him. And then next thing you know, I go to school and I see him, and his jaw is just like huge, biggest difference ever. And I'm telling you, his treatment was night and day. He started getting with all the girls, like all of us had crushes on him, whatever. And all he changed was his jaw. He started lifting a bit more as well. Wouldn't be surprised if he hopped on tests or whatever. And yeah, his eyes were still kind of mid, but his eyelashes got a bit longer, and yeah, like his eyebrows were okay, but it was really just about the jaw that made the biggest difference. And he permed his hair. So before it was straight, and he permed it, and his teeth were also like fixed. He got off his braces. So essentially, what made the biggest difference was the jaw. That's what made him like go from low tier normie to Chad or Chad light or whatever. Yeah, that's about it. Peace.